heard somebody. What up, Clifford Benton? New York represent. Michael Cook up in here. What's happening? Clifford, you had to throw in the New York, huh? You had to put it down for you. I get you. I understand. I'm in VA. You know I got to rep. Alexandria, what's up? I got to rep my city. Hey, Evelyn. Welcome to the pop-up. This is Project Fine, Chef Rock collabo. Mark, am I supposed to be hearing you? I can't hear you. I don't want to talk over you. Oh.
Yeah, I'm talking on mute, so.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were.
So yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Oh, you were? Okay.
I wouldn't have known.
You've been on mute for about 2 minutes, bro.
Well, that's why nobody's been writing.
Oh, no.
In the chat, go ahead and write where you all are from, so Chef Rock can know where you're from, because people are from different places. I see Project Fine kitchen staff. Go ahead and identify yourself, because again, this is your day, special for you, bringing in Chef Rock. And so one day we'll get him to come in the kitchen and cook with you as he's done before for us. All right, so there we go.
Jersey girl living in Maryland. What's up, Kima? Oh, Kima Cooks, what's happening?
Clinton from Harlem, Project Fine. Clinton.
You said Harlem? Where you from, Clinton?
Clinton, Project Fine. I'm from Harlem.
Harlem, okay.
Project.
Tia checking in from Harlem.
Yeah, I'm one of the cooks at Clinton. I'm the cook at Clinton.
Oh, that's what's up, Clinton. All right. Yeah. We're gonna have to talk.
12 years.
We're gonna have to talk some food then. Michelle checking in from DC. I hear the accent. So you really from Harlem?
No, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, you picked up a little New York. How long you been up there?
I've been in New York for about 60 years, 45 years at least.
45 years,
63.
Yeah.
I'm 63.
When you go down south, do you put the South Carolina swang back into the accent?
This is all me.
You said that's all you.
This is all me.
Almost, son. Not ready for you yet. All right, Michelle Tyler. I see somebody said DC Central Kitchen. Dialing, what's happening? New York, Rachel. Project Fine Senior Citizen via Brooklyn. What's up, Trinace? Is that? Michael Cook from Germantown.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good to see you. Is that Haram from Project Fine? What city are you in, Haram? Did I pronounce that right? Please let me know if I did not.
Nah, my name is Dalen, though.
What's your name?
Dalen.
Dalen.
Yeah, like Dalen Matt.
Oh, Dalen. I said Dylan. My bad.
Yeah, my fault.
You work at DC Central Kitchen?
Yeah, we met before.
Recently?
Nah, about 4 years ago.
Okay.
He came in to talk to Chef T, and I was right there talking to him.
Yeah. Good to see you, man. You still cooking?
I'm actually about to do some prepping now for cooking tomorrow.
I love it. Good to see you up in there. I was just at Occasions the other day, and I saw some of my DC Central Kitchen folks. You still down there or no?
Nah, I'm still in DC. I hold a spot down at Haleo right now, working on that.
Good. That's what's up. Well, good to see you, Dalen. Barbara checking in from Project Fine, Washington Heights. I like when y'all get real specific on the location, you know?
Say that again?
I like the specificity. I like when you shout out, like, I want the street. So where I grew up, you shout out your street. You know, we might not do that in this day and age, but I need to know what block you from.
That's right. All right, okay, so we're ready to rock and roll.
Right.
So again, I want to welcome everyone to Project Fine's refueling series. And Project Fine is a elder service organization based in New York. My name is Mark Jennings. I am the Associate Executive Director. and we have a ton of Project Find folks in the house. And we established this series to really hear some of the noise in the Bronx, but also to say thank you to the essential workers that have been keeping our agency running to help the seniors that we provide services to help them thrive, especially through this COVID crisis. And so without their work in the kitchen and the social work offices and our homeless in-reach program, senior centers, you know, many more people may have succumbed to this virus that's already taken a grand number of lives. So we are definitely very thankful for their work. And this is a way to say thank you. So sometimes money can say a lot, and we're working on that as well for our employees. But we also wanted to be able to bring something to them that they don't normally get. So Rock, I'm gonna put you on mute for a second.
Okay. So
trying to bring something to them that they don't normally get, because many times that's not you, that's other folks. So
That ain't me.
I'm gonna mute all. Hello? So, can you all hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, great. So I just wanted to, again, just say that this is really for those essential workers. And Rock, we're thankful to have you among a number of people who have come out for us. So I just want to say Rock is a person that I know, my god brother. And so we've known each other and slept in the same houses, and our mothers are very tight, and we're very tight. And I'm thankful that he's said yes to today. So before we go a little further, I want to go ahead and show a little video, because Rock came out for me when I was at Community Access, which was another supportive housing agency that I was with 10 years before coming to Project Find. And so I'm going to share that video, and then I'm going to turn it over to you, Rock.
All right, sounds good.
Rock, on the hot plate.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Now, it's Rock's turn to lead the kitchen.
So we got a scallop risotto, langoustine spaghetti. How long, Jen?
3 minutes.
3 minutes?
Yes,
Today we are welcoming Chef Rock, season 3 winner of Hell's Kitchen, and to be able to have a chance for him and the residents to be able to just commune in a very informal way with a quasi-celebrity.
One of the things that's been a driving force for me is the question, what would you do if you had no fear at all?
When the microphone's checked and the headphones fit, feel the bass in your chest, feel like your head's gonna split. Come out of all the mess, leave the dead zone free. Make sure your rhymes hard like they were left on bricks. If you think this is a game, then I'll bet on this. Crush the world, make it flat and play chess on it. I stand beyond my bars, I'm a self-convict. Have to sweat with every letter, I'm a stressed artist. Have to get up with the sun.
Onion. Now, if this is one of my cooks, I tell them, get back on your station. Don't be wiping your eyes.
Checked and the headphones fit, feel the bass in your chest, feel like your head's gonna split. So I saw her standing there all by herself. So I walked up to her. I walked up to her.
Looking good, Omar. Nice comfort food. And then we're gonna add some. You ready? Don't cringe. Heavy cream.
We can light it up to the sunrise.
We have a sauteed chicken breast, pan sauce, cream, and some sauteed green beans, and lemon risotto. And apple and fennel salad. There you go.
And I made it.
Well, can I get your smile for a bit?
Let me use this.
Miles moving, had a lot of conversation. Yeah, I had a great time.
with the chefs and the residents. So I see, yeah, success. Mark, you there? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, just had to get the screen back. So Rock, just want to say thank you again, and I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Listen, almost cried a little bit on that one, man. It's so, it's so important that I think we grew up under, with such a great influence, like you said, from our mothers. And I know I was taught to serve. So anytime you call me, I feel like it's an honor when you allow me to, have your people, your organizations as an audience. So if I can serve in that manner through a little food or whatever little story, I'm grateful for that. So thank you, Mark, and thank you everybody for allowing me to come into your living rooms or your kitchens, wherever you're at. I really appreciate it. And here's the way this is going to go, right? I hope everybody can hear me. Can everybody hear me okay? I think so. Looks like I got Facebook. If y'all can hear me okay, I hope so. So here's what we're going to do tomorrow. So I'm the fried chicken. I'm going to cut right to it. Like I take pride in my fried chicken. It serves a very special place in my heart. When I was at B. Smith's in DC, I had the best fried chicken in the city, and I still think I have the best fried chicken. And it's very important in our community, or the way I was raised, just the stories behind fried chicken. So I won't go too far in depth, but I just wanted to fry up a little bit. We're going to talk about it just a little bit, but also we want to ask some questions, have some conversations. I know Clifford, you working in the kitchen, and some other people working in the kitchen. We can talk about anything. I know, you just, everybody knows me, or a lot of people know me from Hell's Kitchen. We can talk about that. We can talk about food, whatever. It don't matter. I'm open to it. So I'm gonna get right to it. All right. So I'm gonna do this really quick, but I used buttermilk marinade right here. Okay. So what this is, I have chicken breast, right? And I marinated them in buttermilk. I often don't really use buttermilk, but I did it today. It's really good, right? So the dairy really helps break down and makes the chicken tender. You can let that sit in there overnight, and it adds, the thing I like about buttermilk is thick, so that helps the breading stick when you have something like a chicken breast, right? Boneless, skinless, which a lot of people like, but there's not a lot of flavor in there in these boneless, skinless chicken breasts with the regular old chicken. So use that, a little hot sauce, this Creole seasoning that my friend Wanda's cooking. She's out in Oakland. She does this like chow chow, which is amazing pepper condiment. And she's also got some seasoning blends, and this is the Creole stuff. So it's got some nice little heat in there, some herb. So I put that in there, a little salt, pepper, definitely some hot sauce, and just let it sit. You can let that sit for overnight, for at least, or even an hour or so, okay? Now I forgot my gloves, so I'm gonna have to run and wash my hands after do this. But let me show you the screen right here. Let me talk about this real quick. All right, so let's do this. Okay, so what you're seeing right here is my fryer, right? So I have it on 350. Now there's some common mistakes people make when they're frying that you shouldn't make, right? So as you can see, this is fresh oil. It doesn't need to be cleaned every time, but it should be at least strained, right? So get all of that brown stuff out of the bottom. The reason being that stuff continues to cook and it continues to burn. So less is the quality of your oil, right? I know it's a hassle to drain it every time, but you really should. And it also imparts it can, burn the food, and you get less use out of the oil. So clean oil, high heat, right? 350 degrees. If you're cooking this on the stove, most people cook it either too low or too high, right? Too high, it's gonna brown real quick. You got that raw chicken in the middle. Nobody wants the chicken sushi, right? So 350 degrees is going to give you a nice even brown coating. If you don't have I have a fryer here. If you don't have that, make sure you get yourself a thermometer. I know some people, when they grew up, they did the little flour oil test. Your grandmama could do that, but some of y'all ain't cooking that much to know. You don't know how to do that. So you need a thermometer, right? My grandmother could do that because she, you know, it was second nature to her, right? When you end up doing something 50, 60 years, right? Some of, you know, the rest of us, I don't even say y'all,
Okay.
mortals can't do the flour test and get it at 350, okay? So get yourself a thermometer, all right? Clean oil, heat, and then we're gonna go in. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take my chicken breast here, all right? And make sure some of these chicken breasts at the grocery store are massive, right? I'm not a big fan of those commodity chicken breasts, but you buy what you buy, okay? If you do buy the really big ones, cut them down, okay? If they're so big, make sure they're even, all right? Make sure they're even in size so you don't have one piece that's really big and one piece that's kind of small. You cut them about 4, maybe 5 ounces a piece. You don't have to measure it, but just cut them down. So what I'm doing here, let me show you. The flour is very important, okay? The flour is very important. What you want to do is also drip a little bit of, you know, the wet into here, and that creates those little crumbs around the chicken. And I'm not gonna say, you know, the name of your favorite chicken sandwich place restaurant that y'all recently got one up in New York, but we got plenty of them down here. But that's what they do. They take a little of the batter and it forms these little, you drop it right in here and it forms these little clumps, and that's gonna stick to the chicken. Right, so that's what you want. That's the kind of texture you want right there. Where are we? There we go. See those balls, right?
Yep.
All right, so make sure it's nice and covered. Press that flour in there, right? Because when we put it in there, when we put it in the fat, it's gonna sort of, you know, go away. Some people double dip with buttermilk. I don't feel like you need to double dip. Go back in the liquid. With something thinner, like if you're using a brine or something like water, sometimes you can double dip to make sure you get a nice coating, because you don't want, nobody wants fried chicken with a little, you want that crust. That's what we're here for, all right? Shake the excess off, gently lay it right in the fryer, and we're gonna do another piece, okay? About a similar size piece, right? Similar size piece. Now, if you're on the stove or even in a fryer, many people, and this is a mistake a lot of home cooks make, and I know, like Clifford might even know this, like leave the chicken alone. Don't go playing with it, touching it, seeing if it's ready, picking it up. Leave it alone, right? That's what a lot of people do. They want to move it around. Don't do that. Leave it in there. Let the crust form, okay? Let science do what science is going to do. All right, shake that off, and we're going to put the second one in there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and wash this off. I'll be right back.
All right.
I just want to tell y'all, I just learned something to leave the chicken alone, because I'm one of those folks that don't leave it alone. So, you know, I'm not a chef. Uh-oh. Not you, Mark. Not you. Hey, that's why I'm here, to gain knowledge.
I appreciate your vulnerability and your honesty, my brother. But not today, not anymore. After today, you're gonna leave it alone. Okay. So let me show you also what I have over here. All right, while that's cooking. And normally, so this is, I'm gonna do like, so this is butter and seasonings. So I'm gonna do like a Nashville hot almost. So I put a little bit of that Wanda's Creole seasoning, some butter, a little brown sugar, right? A little more salt, garlic powder, onion powder. And you just mix that up and you toss the chicken with that. Listen, we talking good food right there. All you do is toss the chicken with that, right? You could add honey to this, whatever you want, but you know, I don't know what gets better than, you got fried chicken, peanut oil in here, you got fried chicken, and then you're gonna toss it in butter. I mean, that's kind of cheating, you know what I mean? But we're gonna do that in a second. Now, breast, another little tidbit. Breast white meat, less dense, so it's gonna take not as long to cook as like a bone-in thigh, right? So the bone take longer, okay? So when you're checking the temperature, the internal temperature, you check close to a bone on a wing or a drumstick or anything like that. And dark meat is gonna take longer to cook. So if I was frying a whole chicken, I'm gonna put in, and all of the pieces would sit in here, I'm gonna put in my dark meat first, let that go for a couple of minutes, then the white meat, right? If you want them all to come out at the same time. Now, if we don't wanna play Russian roulette, I have a thermometer here somewhere. Listen, y'all got these messy drawers too. Don't be laughing at me because I'm a chef. I know everybody watching got a messy drawer, so no judgment, all right?
Gotcha.
So, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna check the temperature. 165 it should be, right? Take it out of the fat. A little bit in there. 145, no good, no bueno. All right. Sanitize that in a second. Okay, so I got a little brioche here, right? I just toasted the bun. You can put whatever on there, a little mayonnaise. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know. Do y'all have mumbo sauce up there yet, Mark? Anybody from up New York?
I mean, you know, I got mumbo sauce up here, but I don't know. I don't think it's in the kitchens at Project Find yet. So
okay.
we might be able to import it with some permissions, Barbara.
Listen, when I come up, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a mumbo, right? And mumbo is a DC condiment. It's like sweet, savory, a little sour. It got some heat to it as well. So I was gonna make some that I was gonna purchase. There's a Capital City Mambo sauce. Great condiment here. All sold out in the grocery store. So good for them, not so good for my sandwich tonight. But that's when I came up with the Nashville Hot right here, all right? And with this, if you like spicy, you can go even harder on the heat, right? I mellowed this one out because my son is gonna taste it. I'm feeding my family tonight. But, you go real hard, the chili flakes, the cayenne, okay? So here's what we're gonna do. I know that's done. I'll put that in there, right? Chicken, oh man. Not again, we hit him with the Drake sound on that one, all right? And then we just gonna slather. We're just gonna slather and toss. Slather and toss. And then, oh, this smells good. You can smell the spice coming up off of it. Oh my goodness. I don't have any tongs. We're gonna do this. It's just me. Oh man. I hope we're gonna be able to finish this show without me taking a bite. Woo! All right, that's fried chicken sandwich, ladies and gentlemen. Can my camera focus? Can we focus? Can you focus? Nope. All right, sorry, going to the overhead. Oh my. What are we looking like? All right, we're looking good. Okay, so that's what I got for you. Now let's talk. Let's chop it up a little bit. What we got? Clean as you go. We'll put this safety first. Put the chicken back in the refrigerator.
Clean as you go, safety first. Music to many people's ears. So what you can do is you can unmute yourself to ask a question, or you can throw something in the chat as well. And somebody asked me, is Chef Rock really going to ask any questions if I answer? And I said yes. So this will prove me right.
No doubt. Shoot, I want to say one more thing. And I grew up, I tell my mother things in the kitchen all the time about food safety, and she always says, I paid for your school, so you've been eating unsafe chicken all your life. Make sure y'all refrigerate your chicken flour, okay? And this is something, even in the restaurant business, if you're in the restaurant or if you're in the kitchens, treat your flour like raw chicken, because it is. So just like you wouldn't leave raw chicken out for 4 hours during service, you want to treat this as a hazardous food as well. A lot of people, I see people making this mistake all the time. So keep this on ice or in the refrigerator, and definitely at home. Just because it's flour, once you introduce chicken to it, it's just like chicken. So you wouldn't leave a piece of chicken out on the counter. So don't do that. I leave mine in the freezer just because there's more space in there, but another little tidbit. What we got?
I have a question if I can ask one.
Please.
So I am an absolute newbie when it comes to cooking. Don't know anything about it. You have any tips for somebody like me?
Sure. Well, tips for, I guess you got to give me a destination. What do you want to do?
At this point, I just want to make something that's edible. So, I know it's a lot easier for a conversation like this to take place with people who have some sort of type of experience, and this might be a challenging question, but I'm just saying, if you could say, when it comes to cooking, step one to consider is this. What would that be?
Well, what's up? I didn't see. I thought that was your voice. What's up, Kurt? Well, here's what I would say. That's a great question. Step one is just to, keep it simple, right? KISS. They say keep it simple, stupid. I don't want to call nobody stupid, but that's what I say to myself. So to novice cooks, cook what you want to eat, right? So, we make cooking, we put it up on the pedestal, right? We make it bigger than it actually is. Use simple technique. Don't overdo it. Many times when you want to, as a young cook, you want to take the next step and you want to try to get all fancy and add this and add that. You can probably take off the last 2 or 3 things, right, as a young cook when you're trying to do these elaborate dishes. So the same thing at home. If you like to eat chicken Parmesan, right, keep it simple. Get yourself a nice little chicken. Find out how to, YouTube is great. Find out how to make something really simple. Fry it. Get yourself a tomato sauce. If you want to make the tomato sauce, if you want to buy it, right? But because you might just want to get through the process of making chicken Parmesan. And then it's cheese, oven, right? So what I would say is start with something that you like to eat out, right? Something as simple as a burger or even French fries or fried chicken at least. Just keep it really, really simple. Don't try to overdo it. And last thing is recipes are just a guide, right? So recipes, people say, well, it didn't taste good. It needed more salt. Well, so add more salt, you know what I mean? So just keep it really simple and just know that it tastes good when you say it tastes good.
I appreciate that. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Nobody got nothing? Don't make me to start talking. I get up on a soapbox and I will have y'all here till midnight.
I got a question.
All right. Hey, what's up? What's going on, bro?
What kind of flour did you use? You use all-purpose flour or you use rice flour for your fried chicken?
So this is rice flour. I'm sorry. This was all-purpose flour, and I did not add a little rice flour, but I usually do, right? For the little crispiness. Yeah. I saw you a couple weeks ago on the taco thing, I believe, right?
Me?
No? Were you cooking online? Oh.
Probably.
Okay. Well, you're cooking right now, so I love it. So all-purpose flour works great. You don't need to get really fancy. There's some other flours. A chef friend of mine said the other day to use, I think he said chickpea flour. No. Watercress flour. So I haven't tried that yet, but all-purpose works great. Sometimes I throw in a little bit of, for crunch, I throw in a little bit of like masarina or white corn flour, or just cornmeal. So corn flour or cornmeal can give it a little bit more crunch, but AP is usually good.
Yeah, okay. And do you season your flour or you just season your chicken?
Oh, no doubt. I season everything. Season everything. So in the flour, salt, pepper, garlic, onion, paprika, or as we say down south, paprika, right? You got to add the extra syllable. And those are the main components. You can really get jazzier, but salt, pepper, onion, garlic is usually what I go with.
I don't want to take up all the time because I can ask a lot of questions.
Oh, well, if nobody else is in line, go for it.
I'm making sweet potato fries. Like, I was going to blanch them first and then freeze them and then recook them when I go to make orders tomorrow. Is that too much, or should I just cook them straight for orders tomorrow?
So I've never done the frozen method, right? So sweet potatoes are different than regular old white potatoes in the sense that you can't hear me. So they can't hear me. I'm sorry. So here's what I would suggest. I do suggest a blanch, right? At a lower. Are you blanching the water and oil?
Yeah, I'll blanch them in oil.
Yeah, so I would do that, like a double fry, like a pomme frite, right? Like a French fry. Now the refrigeration method, that probably helps if you're talking about in a professional manner, you know, just batch, you know, doing it in batches so you can get ready for service. Yeah, but sweet potatoes have so much sugar in them. You want to slowly cook them without caramelizing that sugar. This is true for either or any, you know, russet potato as well. What you're doing is slowly cooking out that sugar, right? So, and then when you put it back in hot grease at 350 or 375, you get them really crisp on the outside. You caramelize that sugar, and it's soft and pillowy. So I would do it the same way what you're doing. I've never done the freezer thing, but yeah, sounds cool.
No, I was going to freeze them for over because
So
I'm not serving them until tomorrow.
Yeah.
I do want to say we got a question down in the chat.
All right.
So that is, do you have a favorite vegan recipe?
Favorite vegan recipe. Favorite. I really love chickpeas. You know, they're so versatile. So like chana masala, which is an Indian dish. I'm not sure what part of India it's from. But anything chickpea. I love a good chickpea burger. Yeah, so right, Indian food with chickpeas is probably my favorite. It's so fragrant. The spices are really good for you. All that turmeric and the different curry and the you know, cayenne and ginger and garlic and all that jazz. So yeah.
Anjali.
I'm sorry. So I want to know from the people that are in the kitchen, like what's a meal look like? Or like what are you all cooking?
Well, me, Clinton, it's Clinton for Project Fine. Well, me, I cook just about anything. I love to cook. And like I said, being from the South, I'm pretty sure your chicken tastes just as good as mine.
Yeah.
I just cooked fried chicken last night.
At home?
We love your food, Clinton.
Thank you.
At home?
Yeah,
Or-
I cooked fried chicken last night. It was, well, I said I use a egg milk and a little mustard batter.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, then I put it back, then I put in flour and I fry it. Like I say, I don't keep checking it. I
Yeah.
let the chicken cook itself.
Okay. You say you just let it ride. Now what do you,
Right.
what kind of pan you cooking it in?
A regular iron cast pan.
Okay.
Yeah, one old fashioned iron cast pan.
Oh yeah.
But the fried chicken very good.
Yes. Now, are you frying? Do you all fry much chicken at work?
Well, we don't fry, we bake.
Bake. Okay. Yeah, got to keep it healthy, right?
Yeah, and like I said, well, I just about do the same with my baked chicken, and the people love it. They
I
love
see.
it.
Somebody
love
say
to
yum.
and I love to cook.
Yeah.
I like to bake too. I started out baking at first. I was cooking since I was 14 years old, but I started out baking.
Okay.
I was self-taught. Never had a chance to go to school because I was so busy doing everything else.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
never went to school for cooking, but I enjoy cooking. Try to find help to get my certificate in cooking because I never thought I'd be a cook. Never
Yeah.
in the world. And I've been cooking since I was 14 years old. My family, and I went down south and cooked down south.
Uh-huh.
and I came back here and just been cooking ever since.
I love it. I love it. What do you love about cooking?
I love to cook. I like to see people enjoy the food. And if I ain't cooking, I'm not living.
Yeah, okay. All right, stay alive. We want you here.
Yeah.
Keep
So
that
I
man
love to
cooking.
cook.
Yeah.
I love to cook. I cook just about anything that's given to me, but me as far as measurements, I never measure. I just go by the feel.
Okay.
I've never been able to really measure ingredients wise. No, I do what I do, and it always come out good. And I thank the Lord.
So how do you know? So how do you know?
It just comes.
Yeah.
It's something that just comes. It just comes. I've never measured nothing. I just went in and everything came out perfect.
Now, does that get you in trouble sometimes at work? Maybe not at this job, but they say, "Come on now, I need you to follow the recipe."
Oh, I follow the recipe for them. So I'm saying, well, I'm home and stuff.
That is a great answer. I like that answer.
My bad.
Oh my God, I was
sure
starting
still
to.
good.
I was starting to worry.
Don't cause trouble, Chef Rock.
So yeah, he cleaned that up real good.
I want to make sure that we get some other people in. So definitely
appreciate it.
If you have questions, continue to jam them into the chat. We can see them there. But definitely join the conversation and come off of mute and be live and enter in. So who's next?
Hey, Mark. Hi, Rock. This is Kalila. I have a question.
Hello.
My brother, how's it going? My brother tried to fry some chicken last week and burnt himself. And I wanted to know, how do you drop the chicken in the oil without burning yourself? Because that is something that I'm petrified of, which is why I don't fry anything. So could
you say he burnt himself?
He burnt himself. He dropped the chicken in the oil. It splattered up, and he got a nice burn. So can you talk about?
Sure. So did your question cut off? Can you talk about burning? Is that what you said? I
yes.
Know. Okay. Sure.
How do you prevent yourself from? How do you prevent burning yourself when you put food in the oil?
Right. And so it's simple, but I've burned myself as well cooking some. So this was on the stove top, right? It wasn't a fryer.
Right, stove top. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way you don't burn yourself is you just, right? We often think we're really close to the oil where we're not. I use my hands, but use some tongs maybe, or even a fork. But my hands are best, so tongs even better, because a fork you still got to push it off. But you lay it in, right? So this is towards you, but you do not drop it, right? So really high over the fryer is going to, it's just like a pool. It's going to splash out. So with that long piece of chicken, people get scared because they think if the chicken starts to cook, it's going to cook my finger. No, you can see the chicken going in there. So you can really gauge on how close you are. So you just lay the chicken, or any product for that matter. The key is two keys. You just lay it in there until it has enough room to fall without splashing all over the place. And then the second thing is away from yourself. So if this were the stove, if this camera was the stove, I'm not going to lay it. Most people do this. They put it this way, right? So if I'm splashing this way, I put it down and it goes this way, then the oil is going to come splash on me. I made that mistake when I was younger. I think we all made the mistake. So this is the pan, and you lay it in there. So if it does splash, and it will splash, it goes up against the backsplash of your wall of your kitchen and not yourself. So, tongs of hands are really important. And I'm sorry that your brother hurt himself.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we were in the other room, and he just hollered and came running. What happened? Burnt himself. So.
Listen, I did that years ago. I was making some curry chicken. I don't know, it was probably 2:00 in the morning. And I had some burns. I had to go to the hospital. So oil burns are no joke.
So Rock, as people are giving us more questions, tell us a little bit about your journey, right? I mean, you just woke up as a baby and knew you were going to be a celebrity chef. How did that work?
Actually, yes, I literally came out the womb. No. So, you know, cooking for me, I think I've come into an awareness recently what it means, what it means to me and why I really was attracted to cooking. But early on, I know that, you know, my sisters liked when I cooked. My mother encouraged me to cook. My grandmother and my grandmother my mother is a phenomenal cook. So food has always been really important in our just our heritage and, you know, the family landscape. So I don't know if I was really conscious of it, but around about the 8th grade, I made this lasagna in the 8th grade, and it was I was taking home ec, you know, and I loved the cooking part, right? I made this lasagna and everybody loved it, and I couldn't believe that I made something that people loved, right? I mean, that was a complex dish for me, and we got to take it home, and I really knew that at that moment, I wanted to be a comedian too, and that didn't really work out. So I pursued the path of, you know, all my comedy was classroom comedy, and the principal didn't really like that. You know what I mean? Nobody was saying, "Oh, you were so funny on third period. You know, maybe we should do this for a profession." You know, my high school and junior high comedy almost got me kicked out of school. So chefing it was, and you know, my sisters had friends, and I was a little boy, you know, teenage, preteen boy, and you know, it was nice to be hugged by teenage girls for your cooking. So that really informed my decision a little bit. And then I went to high school, took some culinary class, and I really knew I got serious about it, and I wanted to be a chef. I knew I could make a career out of it, and I just loved it. So I went on to Johnson & Wales University when it was in Norfolk, Virginia. And yeah, that's when things really got serious for me. It's been you know, I've been cooking for about 25 years since then. It's been a heck of a road, heck of a journey. Had a lot of highs, and sure as heck a lot of lows too. So it's been a really interesting ride so far. And I've done a bunch of things just to, you know, I've worked as a cook, obviously. I've worked at some pretty cool places. I've been around the country and around the globe. I've been a chef. I've been a partner in a couple of restaurants. I taught college, right, culinary school at the university. I'm sorry, culinary arts at the university. I worked at a nonprofit in DC Central Kitchen. I was director of kitchen operations there. I went on to become an instructor in the culinary job training program. Yeah, I've done a few more things that are not coming to me, but service has really always been important. I wrote a book. Wrote a couple books. One got published. I'm podcasting now, so you know I've reinvented, or I'm reinventing myself as we speak. But cooking's been good to me.
So you got two things down in the chat. One asking about which celebrities you may have cooked for, and the other is about tofu, the famous tofu, and any suggestions to make tofu glorious.
Yeah. What's up to everybody on Facebook? I know y'all checking in. I appreciate it. I know you can't see. I'm with Project Fine. If you see the link, you can come on in and hop on in, but you can probably only see me. So I'm with Project Fine. It's an organization up in New York City. And we're over here talking food. You can see my responses. I don't know if they can hear you all, but I'm still working out this software. But if you all can hear me, I hope. If not, I'll holler at you later. All right. So celebrities. What celebrities do I cook for? So many of them, you know, I can't talk about, right? So we have these privacy things. So right now I do some cooking for Admiral Schofield, who's an NBA player. And he's just an awesome guy, and he's okay with me telling you all that. In the past, I mean, I cooked for so many celebrities. I never really archive them, you know. But I remember, I'm going to tell you about a couple that were really memorable. I remember Tony Braxton when I was in Vegas after I won Hell's Kitchen. Tony Braxton came one night to the restaurant, and I wasn't there. Like, I was off, and she was asking for me. And I'm like, what? Why y'all didn't call me, son? And she came either 2 or 3, like she came again and brought her whole family. But she was really like supportive. And, you know, she's from Maryland, I believe, and I'm from Virginia. So there was that hometown thing. So anyway, I was just like, I blew my mind. Like Tony Braxton looking for who? You know what I mean? So I've cooked for a bunch of people. When I was at B. Smith's, we used to cook for celebrities all the time. You know, I remember meeting Hammer, Chuck Brown, all sorts of mayors. I met President Obama when I was in Next Door, when he made that stop at Ben's Chili Bar. I didn't cook for him. Yeah, I've cooked for a lot of people. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank on that. Tofu. What was it called? Oh, any suggestion to make tofu? Yes. So get the firm stuff. I like firm or extra firm, and press out the liquid, right? So whatever, tofu's like a sponge, it's really cool to work with, but I like sauteing it. But if you try to cook it, I like jerking it, like marinating and jerk, or even if you just put a little, you know, some like hoisin or some sort of like Chinese flavors or something like that, put it on a colander or something to drain it with, press it down. They even have something that you can purchase, like a tofu press. It drains all of that liquid out. That is the best way to cook tofu, in my opinion. Once you get all that liquid out, then you season and marinate it. If you try to cook it right out of the water and you're expecting like it to get brown, it's not going to happen because it's got too much liquid in it. So yeah, and like jerking is the best, but Asian, I do this little, I forget what the recipe is, like sesame oil, maybe some Chinese 5 spice, or just anything, maybe a little brown sugar, some honey, or some sriracha, and you just marinate in that, throw in a little saute pan. Woo, good eating. How is Chef Ramsay in person?
Yeah. And you know, tell us a little bit about your experience on Hell's Kitchen, so you can definitely couple those things together.
How is Chef Ramsay in person? So little known fact, Chef Ramsay is actually Black. No, I'm joking. I'm just playing. Wouldn't that be something else? I heard Beethoven. They said Beethoven was Black, and that was news to me. That's something that's going around. Wouldn't that be something else? It'd be like Ramsay would say, I'm actually, anyway. All right. So he's a cool dude, man. I mean, that's my brother. He is driven, right? Very, very much like you see. I don't say very much. He's a lot like you see on camera in that he works really hard. He has a great sense of humor. He is, you know, from the UK, so they are very witty, if you will. So he, you know, he's charming as well. He's very courteous and charming with women, and you know, I appreciated the way he treated my wife and my mother and my daughter. So he's a very nice guy. He's really supportive. A lot of people don't know much about Ramsay. Us in America, you know, he has that character on TV and he has his style, and that, you know, is problematic in some ways to some people. But behind all of that, or maybe underneath that, he's a very supportive mentor and really a caring and giving person. So I like the guy. He's good. He's a big dude too. Little known fact. You know, a lot of brothers say, oh man, you wouldn't talk to me like that. Like, homie is sizable. And you know, I'm not saying you wouldn't step to him if he cursed you out or maybe threw an egg at you, but you would think twice. You're gonna pull your pants up on Ramsay. He's a big dude. All right. Least favorite food to cook and or eat. You know, I don't know if I have least favorite foods. To cook, I'll cook anything. You know, I'm a businessman. I don't say I'll cook anything, but it's less about me and more about the guests. So I don't even say it's business. It's just I am in this to serve. So there's not a lot of things I don't like to cook. As I fry chicken, I just fried chicken. I'm shying away from meat, right? I try to eat as little animals as possible. So to eat, some of the seafood, some of the, the bizarre stuff. I don't call it strange because many cultures people eat stuff like that, but some of the bizarre foods. Oh, like offal, like the offal, the heart and the stomach and the intestines. Nah. No, it's a lot of chitlins gonna be eaten tomorrow and this summer. Nah, miss me with all of that. And I grew up in a Muslim household, so pork was not really our thing. Well, now, we didn't eat pork, but even still, I think some stuff deserves to be. Again, I'm an American, so we throw away a lot, but I'm just not with the whole awful thing. I had to be really hungry to eat some tripe. And that's no disrespect to cultures. I know a lot of people eat that, but that's just not me. What is that? Okay. All right, let me make these shorter. Least favorite, do you have a meal plan? I don't, Tia. I don't have meal plan offers, packages. I could just send you some. I could do a fried chicken meal plan. No, I'm joking. I don't, but I don't know what city you're in. Tia, tell me what city you're in. I might be able to offer to suggest someone. Clifford, can you describe your Hell's Kitchen experience? Oh, that's right. From arrival to emerging victorious. Also, was any doubt that came into your mind throughout your time there? And if so, how did you overcome it? So, great question. Thanks. No doubt. I knew from the beginning when they said you're coming, I knew I was going to win. I saw it in my mind's eye. It was just how I'm going to get through the door. It was tough. It was the toughest thing to date I had done in my career. It was really hard. It was a lot of gamesmanship, but I didn't really have a lot of time to sort of think about the game. You got to fully immerse yourself. People are watching you as far as the producers or the production team. You got cameras everywhere. So that's kind of weird, but I just let all that go and immerse myself into, I got to destroy every single person here, which is kind of weird. It's not like golf or basketball or any other sport or competition where you have an enemy or an opponent, I should say. I shouldn't call them enemies, but you have an opponent. But in the end, you have to work with them. So I'm working alongside people that have to help me win. And then, so right now they're helping me win. And also in the finale, they're going to help me win. So that was on my mind all the time. Like, you can't just go in guns a-blazing and cursing people out and making enemies, because essentially you're going to have to, I have to, have some friends and some allies. So that was strategic, and it was easy for me because I think I'm an okay person. So, when you see me helping people, I understood that. Like, in order for me to win, I have to be a leader and propel us to victory. Ramsey and the producers, they'll decide who wins, but I got to be a great leader. So it was one time I thought I was going home. I lost it on Jen. I cursed her out. I was really upset. And I lost it. That's when I was crying. And I thought I was going home. And you make a mistake and you own it and you move on. Like, that's the way to deal with it. And that's the way I dealt with it. Like, if I was going home, that's it. But yeah, so that's that. What advice this is Michelle. What advice would I give to someone that wants to start a business in food service? I love to bake, but I'm nervous to get a home cottage license. Great question, Michelle. So it's complicated, right? So I want you to pay attention. This advice is kind of complicated. You just got to do it, right? Sorry, it's not complicated at all. You just have to do it. Okay, get the home cottage. Oftentimes, I was thinking about this today. We let the fear of these things get in the way of our dreams and desires, right? You love to bake. That's it. It's like, period, right there. I don't know what, we could talk further about what you're nervous about, but I love to bake. So forget
all the whole thing of setting it all up. And, I went to culinary school for baking.
Okay.
I do, sell my cakes here and there, but I guess just the thought of, I don't know, I guess the fear of doing it all the time, even though I know you can still turn down work if you have to, but I don't know.
So well, why do you need to do it all the time? Why can't you just bake? And what do you love about baking?
The satisfaction that other people get from, what I do. And then I think once you put for lack of better words, a face to a name, or, once you get a business, then the expectations are much higher. I haven't had many complaints about anything I baked. A lot of times somebody's just being overly picky. This color doesn't look right or something like that. But I've never really had a bad review on anything that I baked.
Yeah. Well, I tell you this. One, I appreciate that, you sharing that with me and here in this forum. But the comforting thing you should know is that you're just like everybody else. Like everybody else. I mean, I remember reading what Beyonce was nervous to put out that Beyonce, the one with Drunken Love, whatever that album was, because that was the first one she did was Surprise without a promo rollout. And people say, oh, she's lying. I think that anybody who's creative, just as yourself, you're nervous to do something new. That makes you human, right? The thing is, though, you still have to. You got to do what you love to do because you love to do it. I love to do things like this. So a mentor of mine asked me, like, okay, why aren't you doing it? Right. So we put up these blocks and we say, okay, I'm scared to get the license and the expectation and how do I make a business out of podcasting? I did these things too. At the end of the day, you just have to do the dream and then figure the rest out sort of later, not haphazardly. You know what I mean? But if you love to bake and you love to serve people your baked goods, then that's the core. You got to do that and then seek out advice on how to put those other things around it. But I wouldn't wait. Like, you got to bake, ain't nobody coming to just do it. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah. And I'm happy to, if you want to reach out to me and email me, I'm happy to, talk with you further on that. But, yeah, it's something that you can do out of your house on part-time too. I think, you're thinking like an entrepreneur.
Yes,
So
I
Rock,
appreciate that advice.
That's family. So we'll connect.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember me from Emory, the playground.
Emory, the school?
The playground.
Yeah. Oh, from outside, from the Mayfair Day. Yeah. Okay. Was it Mayfair Day? Is that it?
No, I'm talking about when we were younger, we were kids then.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Younger? No, I don't remember. You took me back on that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm Mark's cousin.
Well, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, let's definitely wrap. I think you're human just like everybody else, but you're in a good spot if you love to do it.
So we're gonna wrap up, and we got an hour out of you. We're gonna let you continue with the rest of your day. I know we could do this all day, but we're gonna put you on video like they do the politicians, and Project Fine, which I'd like him to come to New York when COVID changes its mind to do something different.
I definitely like for him to come. So I would like to cook something for him.
All right.
Absolutely. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Clinton, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will be up there. Listen, we look, hold up, Mark. We don't have to wait for no post-COVID, man. I'll come up there in a bubble. Like, just leave me in my bubble. We can, we figure it out, man. No, I'm joking.
All right.
No way.
I appreciate you all. This was awesome. Thank you so much. And hopefully next time I can do more than just show you food and cook something for you.
Thank you.
So we definitely we'll stay in touch and get you up. I just want to thank everybody for coming out and participating in this series. This is our 9th event that we've had over the past 2 weeks, and tomorrow is going to be our final event, and we're going to have a virtual dance party with DJ 6 Cents, and so he's going to lead us. I'm going to be sending everybody a link where you can put your favorite song. Definitely RSVP for that, and y'all gonna see me dance. And I'm gonna tell you that might make you stay away, but only dance to one music. That's go-go music. So you're gonna hear a little bit of go-go, and I promise to dance only once. and then I'm gonna sit down and continue to enjoy like everybody else. But come on out, we're gonna have some prizes for the Project Find staff, more things. We some of our guests are also offering some freebies. So come on out, just enjoy. And on our final day is Juneteenth, so we got some Black businesses that will be able to give some products out for you as well. And we just are coming to have a good time to conclude and celebrate. And so, Rock, thank you again for coming. Everybody from Project Find, everybody from everywhere, Facebook, everywhere. We just thank you for being here and celebrating, you know, the people, essential workers with us.
I definitely want to say that. Thank you all, but thank you for doing what you do every day. I know it's a, you know, it's a really tough job and a thankless job often from someone in the service industry, but I'm not doing what you all are doing. So I appreciate you. You know, the community appreciates you. So keep on doing what you do.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Be safe.
Good night.
Right. Have a
Good night.
night.